the changes. So why? What is happening? What is happening? Just I believe so. It's all yes. So many people might be experiencing the changes. See, because our mind is very hard to change. Huh? We covered think about the real self and we forget it. So we understood that the fourth state of the mind is required. Then we discussed about how to become a human being. And we also understand the need for knowledge is there. Good work alone is not enough. Well, if you understand even from the point of view that what is evolved is the body, there is no other chance of evolution of this physical level. Then there is a mental evolution. Mind is constantly changing. So if we accelerate the evolution of the mind, the life is going to change completely. Do you still remember the 4 aids by Sri Aurobindo? No, I have been very busy. This will not work. I'm saying to keep in your mind. Practice alone will not work. And then 4 options. And last week we discussed about the introduction of 4-fold practices to prepare for meditation. After all, goal is awakening. Goal is to know the real self. So if we do not use our intellect to think, nothing happens. Now you all are seekers. You might have realized people are talking about instant meditation, 1 minute meditation, 2 minute meditation, 5 minutes meditation. You see, it has taken a long journey. What the beard guy is talking. I closed my eyes and 1 minute I practiced from the Headspace app and everything is done. Now, if you have listened to the previous 11 talks, examine your mind now. I'm not doing it. You have to examine your mind. Brandy is saying, yes, I will examine. Very good. So now ask yourself, I am unhappy. Example, I'm unhappy. Now we have 2 options. Do I want an object from the world to be happy? One option. Or I am seeking freedom from unhappiness. Tell me, what is your understanding? Can I repeat it again? Simple. I'm unhappy. Question is, am I seeking an object from the world outside, whether it is a person or a thing or a car or anything, to become happy? or I am seeking freedom from unhappiness. Both look same. Are you getting it? Freedom from unhappiness. Do I want? No, I feel very, insecure and fearful. So, do I want an object for security so that, yes, you see that I have a big mansion, I have closed all the doors, thief will not enter into it. This is one way. Or do I want a freedom from insecurity? Here. Did you get it? In order to live, to seek a freedom, takes a long time to make you a seeker. The mind goes back again. Today I'm not paid. Today this guy did not pay me. Tomorrow someone paid me more, so I'll be attracted to that guy. I am stressed. Another question. Am I seeking an object to free myself from an object? Biggest example is Bill Gates. I have repeated many a times. Or am I seeking freedom from the stress? Tell me. So if you are seeking freedom from stress, freedom from unhappiness, freedom from insecurity, you are already a seeker. And then question of your getting upset will rarely enter into your life. We are on a journey, but I'm okay, good. Everything is okay in my life. Then you are not fully busy, you're not over busy. Because it is the mind that makes you busy. Stephen was saying, then you are not exploring. So, I can joke with all of you, you are seekers. Are you thinking about this? Are you thinking in this way? So if you are thinking in this way, you are separating the two. When you are separating the two, that is the first primary practice of knowledge, known as Viveka, known as discernment. Without discernment, no success. Am I saying no? All the masters are saying this. I have to instantly discern. How long that practice continue? The moment you wake up until you retire to the bed. You are earning discernment, which is a wealth of the intellect. Whether you are in your office, in your relationship, eating something, doing something, you are there. Mind lives in that higher awareness. Mind lives in the fourth state of mind. Then meditation will definitely succeed. But it will also change your attitude, your behavior, your responses to the people, the things outside. That is what do you still remember primary practices? Last week we covered primary practices, hidden practices, secondary practices. Primary practices, first is discernment, second is dispassion, and then we have 6 inner treasures of the intellect and the mind, and the last one is the intense desire. Then you'll have a natural intense desire for the freedom. These are 9 primary practices. Before I go further, let me clarify you. When you are on the path, the discernment takes you to dispassion. Dispassion takes you to 6 inner treasures. 6 inner treasures to bring the intense desire. only the discernment, every practice merges into the discernment. You have only to remember in the last that I am living with discernment as a wealth in the intellect. You need not to think anything. You are living in the fourth state of the mind. Your mind is already one-pointedness. That is the beauty. But do you still remember the 3 hidden practices? If not, then listen to this beard guy again. And why should I repeat? Now, if you tell me, then I will repeat it again. And then comes the secondary practices. So, if you are doing the secondary practices regularly without these 9 primary practices, you will definitely fail. Definitely fail. You will surely fail. Then the blame, complaint, and the reaction comes. Now come to another topic, but focused on the discernment. Do you see the difference between becoming happy and being happy? Becoming means I am not happy. I got an object and then I became happy. Now you all are seekers, so I have to talk of the higher principles. How long we will continue with the same? So becoming happy and being happy. Being happy is my essential nature. Let this world give me lot of pain, insecurity, worries. But being happy means nothing can disturb me outside. You are a seeker. But without discernment, it will not happen. That is why I asked you a simple question, that I have lot of problem of insecurity. What exactly I want? Do I want an object outside for security, or do I seek freedom from insecurity? I am unhappy. Two questions. Do I want an object in the middle and then I will be happy, or do I seek freedom from unhappiness? Now see, the cause of unhappiness is not this object. Cause of happiness is inside me. A seeker knows this very well. Seeker lives in that awareness 24/7. Are you getting it? So simple. So by which process your mind leaves, stops craving, running after an object for happiness, for security, for managing the stress. Rather, it says, problem here is the problem of insecurity in the mind, problem of unhappiness in the mind. You see, you clear your doubt. This is what the knowledge is, and that knowledge comes from the discernment, and discernment separates. Where it separates? It separates the knowledge in the mind. Do you know the sky is not blue? How do you separate? How do you know that? You separate in your mind. So the moment your intellect separates with the knowledge, I'm not going to seek an object for happiness, but I'm seeking freedom from unhappiness that I am feeling inside me. So what happens? Your blame, complaint, and reaction game is over. Your mind never says, you made me unhappy, you created this problem. You see that? That mind lives within oneself. Then success is very near. That is why we have heard many a times, listening and learning these principles. We will also understand later that why the teacher is important, how much is the role of a teacher. But until now, listening and learning the principles leads to detachment. Detachment leads to removing the delusion in the mind. What is that delusion? I feel lot of fears inside. So what is the delusion? I am seeking fearlessness from an object of the world outside. Or am I seeking freedom from the fear that is burning within me? It is not outside. Any object in the world does not contain a stamp of fearlessness. Go to the Walmart, go to the coal, find out, is there a stamp of fearlessness? Buy it, you'll be happy. Stop the learning. Any car, any buck, $1 note or $10 note or $20. Is there written it is a fearlessness? What we do, we project. That I will take up later on. That I will take up later on. Practice. So I told you, when you practice Viveka, the discernment, it becomes dispassion. Then you will experience that what exactly is the dispassion. It simply becomes dispassion. And dispassion becomes the 6 treasures. Mind is craving for an object. Stamp. Mind has projected the stamp of security. Now you are living in a discernment and a dispassion. You say, oh, I know. There is no stamp of security and happiness there. So what is happening? Detachment naturally happens. Delusion is naturally removed. It happens. You all are seekers. So we have to understand that part. If we do not understand that, because the knowledge do not live inside during the practice of meditation, it is not going to change you. We will return back to the same stuff. Same problem. Same problem of fear. Same problem of anxiety. Same problem of duality. Then we all become Bill Gates after 27 years. Because the knowledge is not there. You see, that understanding is not there. Now you are getting an answer that why we fail in meditation. Why we fail in meditation. There are about, I told you before also, there are about 80 or 90,000 verses in Eastern wisdom from the different texts which guides us how to perform a particular karma, a primary level. So normally people pick up those verses and they say this is what is written and we are doing it. And there are about maybe 20,000 verses on Upasana. Upasana means, I practiced on Shiva, I practiced on Buddha, I practiced on this yantra, I practiced on chakra. How many petals? I saw those petals. Now I don't see it. Why? Because the knowledge is not clear. Only we have 4,000 verses on knowledge. So why to spend 80,000 verses, time on 80,000 verses, 20,000 verses? They talk of different visualization, direct entry. into the meditation by learning these principles. Discernment, understanding, discernment. So make the discernment your friend. The entire life, your attitude, your responses to objects and the things will definitely change. Your perception will change. What is going to happen in your, say, in your personal life? You are related to a lot of people. We relate normally. Now, internally, you will find I should respond in this way. It will come naturally. And that will prevent you the distractions of the mind. 90% of the distractions are gone. Whether in relationship to an object, to a person, to a thing, to the world outside. So you continue to live into the fourth state of the mind. That is what we picked up as a first session on Become a Seeker. And the moment there is an absence of discernment, my friends, it will take you to attachment. Definitely, there is no other way. If you don't live in discernment, you are already in the field of attachment. In our daily conversation, in our relationship with the people, in relationship to the things and our activities, there is absence of discernment. We are already attached. The way the windows open at default, absence of discernment opens the mind at default. What is the mind at default? I like it, I dislike it. I get pain if you are with me, and I get pleasure if you are. Understand this. So check every day. It may happen rarely, but if it happens, then we know the power of discernment. The moment you wake up, check. Mind should not be impulsive, instinctive, habitual. It does not want to enter into a comfort zone. Apply discernment. Why? Because if you do not apply discernment, then your mind will move towards prayas. That is what our master says. What is prayas? What I like and what is pleasant. It makes me forget. When I forget, I lose the fourth state of the mind. Then I will not succeed. Then I am seeking an object or a person or a thing outside in the world to be happy, to manage my stress, to live in fearlessness. But after some time, the mind says, I'm not fearlessness with this object or a person, so let me seek another object. Let me seek another object or a person to be happy, and this journey will continue. We start living at the unconscious level. You know the result. Anxiousness, depression, tiredness. There is an acronym used, TAT, T-A-T-T, tired all the time. That comes from this mind. We use attention deficit disorder, something like this. It's better to create some. So, when we use the intellect, it comes forward, takes over the mind, start thinking about the shreyas, what is right and good, and the mind withdraws within. In that state of withdrawal of the mind, the meditation always succeeds. Do you ever forget your house? Until if we are not in coma. Or we are not intoxicated too much. Do you still remember the story? The husband dragged, sometime good things goes to the women and sometime good thing goes to the men, so no problem. So man gets intoxicated and then he was telling his wife, he was sitting in his home and he was telling her, can you take me to my home, beautiful women? He even forget that she is the wife. This is what happens when there is an absence of intellect, absence of discernment in the intellect. So there is a doubt in the mind. There is a doubt in the mind that this is not my home and this woman is not my wife. Same way, we have a doubt that the real self is too far from me. I have to do lot of things to find the real self, but the real self is already within me. It is present here and now. Only the discernment will help you to understand this. Means discernment removes the doubt from the mind and the intellect. It gives you the clarity, it gives you the conviction. With that clarity, conviction, and the doubt-free knowledge, you practice meditation, you always succeed. This is what our masters are saying. Now, can we summarize this? Buddha always said, understand. He extracted the main principles out of the 4,000 verses that I told you. So what he said? Dukkham, dukkham, dukkham. Dukkham means sorrow, 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 suffering. Now see, what is discernment? He uses the second word. Anityam, anityam, anityam. Sorrow is there, definitely I recognize, but it is impermanent, impermanent, impermanent. Why it is impermanent? Because now I realize seeking an object outside will never bring an end to the sorrow. But he went little deeper. That is the power of discernment. Third is Chanikam, Chanikam, Chanikam. Not only impermanent, the world outside, but Chanikam, it is momentary, momentary, momentary. Love at first sight. We talk a lot about, think about it, love at first sight. And what happens to that love at a second sight? We don't think about it. Do you ever think of love at the third sight? We don't think about it. That is, momentary nature of the world. So third, and then when I realize in my head through the knowledge that the world outside is impermanent, is momentary, what is the result now in the mind? Shunyam, shunyam, shunyam. Shunyam means nothingness, nothingness, nothingness. This is the entire teaching of Buddha. But if I do not think, nothing will happen. Nothing is going to happen, my friends. So let us start our practice of meditation. Eyes are closed. Looking at the body, And the first thing first, visualize or feel you're holding your hands in Namaste Mudra. The tip of the thumb is touching the sternal notch. A gentle pressure looking deep inside the center of the palm. Mental Namaste, not physical, is required. Physical Namaste, there are at least 100 types of Namaste. Reminding yourself. Reminding yourself, Namaste is to enter into that emptiness. Why? To reveal the nature of the real self, which is self-existent, self-evident, self-luminous. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita. So it is the discernment, through the discernment we are creating an auspicious moment and doing the Namaste. That peace or happiness is located inside me as my essential nature. O mind, understand it. So when you have that understanding, which is doubt-free, clarity is there. Will your mind run after that object outside? It doesn't mean that you don't need an object. We need objects to survive at the physical level. But mind will learn not to run. And then being comfortable. And again being comfortable in the same manner. Just visualize as if you are mentally doing Namaste. Keep looking inside into the space. In that space, look at the neck joint. Feel sensation, comfort and steadiness. After that there is a space. Where the space? In the Namaste Mudra. But that is another meaning, not me. What is not me? What is outside, including this body, breath, mind, intellect, ego, thoughts, feelings, sensation. That knowledge is not clearly settled. Why it is not settled? It is the death of the mind. So mind does not want us to settle into that. That is why the mind creates, that is why you have shared with me that I have a lot of thoughts today. This discernment as a primary practice helps you. Nothing can help you from outside. And if they help, it will be temporary. Look at the entire body on all the joints of the body, shoulder joints, elbows, wrist, hip, knees, ankles, toes. Sensation, comfort and steadiness. And space. So that space inside the palms in the Namaste Mudra has two meanings. Not me, only you. You means the real self, the existence is there. Now just check that, are you carefree? Thoughts are coming, not me and mine. Casual reference. You don't worry about them. And that helps you to achieve the steadiness in the body. We don't find the root cause. And then being casual. Have you noticed that it's a mental Namaste Mudra that is 1,000 times stronger than the physical? Now, in that state, we move to the next stage. So, in that state, the mind endures. Mind does not react or blame or complain. And you have been doing it. I could see that. So, in that state, we check the level of endurance. That is one of the 6 treasures. We will gradually come to that, but I'm just telling you, pointing you. In that state, you are looking inside the rib cage or inside the center of the palm. Mental Namaste Mudra continues, or inside the heart, whatever is possible. And start short, quick, and the gentle breathing from both the nostrils, with expansion and contraction of the rib cage. Continue. We are not forcing, we are not fighting. Remember, now that fighting is the past. Temporary solution, no. We are doing it for a joy. The entire body will remain steady, and you will start experiencing the changes in the body, I would say in the brain. So mind is doing an action, brain is changing. When the brain changes, our attitude changes. When our attitude changes, our behavior changes. When our behavior changes, our personality changes. Lot of stuff. Continue. Quick, short, and the gentle breath. Just continue. If the mind continues with a short, gentle breath for a little more time, what's going to happen? That is what we want to see. Just continue. And stop it. Just bring your mind at the tip of the nose. Become aware of the flow of the breath. That seems to be equal from both the nostrils. If it is not, you need not to worry. So understand the breathing is a secondary practice. Before that, we have a primary practice. And then we have 3 hidden practices. So if we are not fully well versed with the primary and the hidden practices, the success is not there. Now start breathing deep, silent, slow breathing. Not very deep. You have to breathe to make your mind aware it is neither goes into anxiety nor it goes into laziness. So we are preventing the 2 factors of the mind. That breath is deep, silent, and slow inhalation and exhalation. We'll continue with the nyasa. You already know the nyasa. Body is steady. Deep, silent, slow breathing. Second point of awareness. That is your car. Mind is the driver, moving inside the major parts of the body in the space, dropping Om Shanti, but with the knowledge, Om, real self, Shanti, peace. So let us start. When you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips in the space inside, saying Om Shanti. During exhalation, the mind moves from the fingertips to the shoulder inside in the space, dropping Om Shanti. You see, on one day, the same practice becomes so deeper. Why? My mind. And that is why we need to follow these practices. Now inside the left arm, you will discover the stillness in the body. The last time I covered that point deeply. Now inside the right leg, did you forget doing this Om Shanti? It is one way the forgetfulness, but the other way we need to understand. Understanding has to be there. The knowledge has to be there. That is why the mind forgets. It forgets because clarity is not there. So bring the clarity. Don't force the breath. I know you all are understanding that. Now inside the left leg. It's all your contribution to learn. You contribute your mind, your body, your breath. Your attitude, your intensity, that goes a long way. Now inside the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone, and from the tailbone to the crown of the head, moving breath, moving mind, dropping Om Shanti, but with a meaning now. Om Shanti. Om, my real self, of the nature of peace, where it is within me. That knowledge and understanding drops the mind from wandering, from being lazy. No, but if one is not a seeker, then I have to guide the same way. Okay. Now leave this deep breathing, remain in that state and experience moving the mind. Now you see you are still moving the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, as if the mind is touching every cell of the skin of your body. You feel the deepening of the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So you are sure today, mind, you are supporting me. Clarity is there. Tomorrow may not be there. But I persist. And then move the mind inside the body, from the crown of the head inside. Experience calmness and quietness that we covered last time. And then going inside the rib cage, the center of the rib cage and the space. So again pay attention what I am saying. You look inside the center of your chest. You become aware of the space. You pick a point in the space. You drop Shantoham. That you is the mind. Check this. The moment you drop the Shantoham, that means I am the peace. So again you get absorbed, merged into the emptiness of the space. Then you check mind, can you go deeper within? And mind says, yes, I am going deeper. So you see the movement of the mind. When you recognize that and that is going within, do you experience that you are living within? But then you move within and again you find the space, you pick up a point, you drop Shantoham, then the third milestone as you continue with the milestone. See what happens. I told you I'll give you a long pause before I speak further. You need to continue with a Shantoham. Shantoham. It is not dukkham, sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. Reference point is the word. It is Shantoham, Shantoham. Shantoham. One day you will keep sitting like this, even for hours together. That mind will not like to go out. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, raise both your palms, bring it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Sam?
I'm really good. I have noticed over the last couple of meditations that I feel more prepared to do the quick, short, fast breathing exercise, such that my endurance and concentration is already up by the time we get to that point, which reduces any resistance from my mind during that part of it, and it just intensifies the experience and the focus, and the rest of it was just a breeze after that.
It was a perfect expression. The level of endurance goes up, and even when you do it for 10 minutes, next time we are going to do for 10 minutes and see how your mind reacts or responds. I'm not saying only to the Sam, but to everyone. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very good. Very deep, open, quiet, still. Yeah, it was just wonderful. I can't even remember part of it. It went by so quickly. It was great though.
Beautiful. That's good. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. I had a similar experience to Sam. I felt that there was no resistance from the time I closed my eyes with my mind. Was happy to be inside, and it was just good space, just good
Beautiful.
space.
Yeah, that is what is going to happen. We will be doing lot of active steps, including, and then you will find the level of endurance is going up, 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 up. So that helps to keep the mind living within. But it does not mean that that is the only step. There are other steps we'll be introducing. Beautiful. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. Very similar with the jury and Sam's explanation of the breathing. I found it to be effortless.
Effortless.
Yeah, it was. I was very concentrated on it. It was easy. I know it felt like we went longer than we typically did, but I know that as soon as the breathing was done, I was gone. So it was just the end when it really is. It's the bell when you turn the record back on is kind of like, I feel like a dog. There's the bell, time to eat.
That's a
but
beautiful.
outside of that, it was just great.
Great,
Thank
beautiful. How are you, Brandy?
thank you for some much needed peace this morning. I'm in a really crazy place right now.
Come on. You are a wonderful person.
Yeah. I like the idea of my mind supporting me. Like just bringing it back.
Yeah. No, be in peace. Talk to me if you have any challenges. How are you, Kate?
Good morning, Girish. Good morning, everybody. I'm really well, considering I woke up with some significant congestion, but the breathing really helped to clear it, and
Good.
it was I would say deep, but very light and illuminative.
Good. That is good. How are you, Lara? Oh.
I am good. It was really great. And I like to watch that. I really like that reading practice because it helps me like clear out some of the clutter, the noise that's kind of in there that I don't realize necessarily is like drawing my attention out. So I find that very helpful. And then it was really spacious. And at one point, and I don't remember exactly what it was, I just saw this like pinpoint of a white light kind of right in the center. And then it went away.
That went away.
Tried to look for it for a second again, and I was like, just let it go. And towards the end, I was seeing like an image of an eye coming to me. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's really great. Great practice. And pinpoint of the light is all what the mind is moving inside. That's a really a good point that you expressed. How are you, Christina?
Good morning. I'm doing very well, as I'm very excited that was the first time I feel that I actually completed that breath work and practice fully and completely. And as Sam was saying, the building up to it definitely, and practicing is finally, I feel that I'm here. And prior to that, I did tell my mind, I didn't say, mind, you're dead to me, because I don't want to say that, but I did say, the thoughts of the mind, you're dead to me. And I immediately was able to just be in the moment, and then we started the Nyasa, and I've never been more absorbed. So I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm
beautiful.
Shocked by myself that I can do it now.
Beautiful. That is what mind says. I like, dislike. Become aware. Use the intellect. Right? Use the intellect. Get away with me. I'm not thinking. No, still there is a reaction. No, I'm not thinking. This is another way to do the discernment. I have to separate these thoughts. If I don't separate, then it brings in emotions, feeling. I also have a lot of tears only when I see my master. Otherwise, I don't cry. I normally don't cry, even if I have an acute pain in the body. Sometimes you have it. How are you, Terry?
I've been all morning, I think, using the discernment to help me with the situation.
Very good.
And so then the breathing, the quick breathing, it was okay. I felt it mostly in the diaphragm, like I'm stretching that to make it go a little higher into the higher part of the chest.
Okay.
And I think that's different from what you were telling us to think about. but that's what I remember. And but then when we got to the Nyasa, I thought, oh good, the Nyasa, because I need to do this. And then I had a really hard time doing it, and I couldn't go with it. Like I was fighting this dyskinesia from starting it, so it stopped me from doing it.
Yeah.
And then when you said it's Shanti, I was like, oh no, stuck to me, because I was not able to get it in my mind, and then I was feeling grief.
Okay.
But that
Grief for what?
It was kind of general, like people, how they are, in general. Just that, I don't know.
Yes.
Vague.
The past impression, the mind triggers those events or those memories, or it may start thinking. So you see that is how we have to work on the mind through the power of discernment.
Yeah.
The more we work, higher the seeker we become, and higher the seeker we become, and then it becomes an easy process, easy way to succeed. Any question? No question. Thank you. We will meet again.
Namaste.
Namaste.